معاشر الأنصار قد حان الفراق. The time of my departure, of demise, has just reached. وقد دعيت, I've been called to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala في لقاء الله. ثم قال صلى الله عليه وآله الله الله في أهل بيتي. He emphasized on his Ahl Bayt, to respect them, to follow them, to pursue their path, to believe in them as a'imma, not only to respect or just love them, to believe in them. It's a matter of belief and faith, because in Usul al-Din, the basis and the foundation of religion, we have the Tawheed, the oneness of Allah, we have the justice of Allah, the Adl, we have the prophethood, the Nubuwwah, and we have the Imamah, the leadership of mankind, of A'imma sallallahu alayhim, and we have the belief in the judgment day, in Yawm al-Qiyamah. 5 main bases of beliefs. If somebody just misses one of them, ignores one of them, he won't die in the state of Islam. He will die in a different state, even if he believes in the 2 Shahadatain. Because Allah wants to complete, as my last night's lecture, or the before that, إِنَّ الدِّينَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ Islam. He wants only Islam. And the Islam, as mentioned, it's the pursuing and following Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. So he says, sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, Allah, Allah fi ahl bayti. Then he says, Masabih al-Dhulam. Masabih is the lantern, the lights. Dhulam means darkness. They are the lights of the darkness. They are the lantern of the darkness. Which means, without Ahl Bayt, you live in the darkness. Today, the Muslim Ummah, except the followers of Ahl Bayt, salamullah alayhim, the Shia, they're all living in darkness, in dhulam. ظُلُمَاتٌ فِي بَحْرٍ لُجِّيٍّ. This is the reality. And you can see this is the result of following the enemies of Ahl Bayt. When you follow the enemy, you'll become like the enemy. You become a person who at least has the rida of the crimes. In Ziyat Ashra we read, وَلَعْنَ اللَّهُ أُمَّةً سَمِعَتْ بِذَلِكَ فَرَضِيَتْ بِهِ. Just to have their acceptance and the pleasure in what the A'da is doing, what the enemy is doing. And that's why the Ummah today is in a mess, is in a destruction, logically, psychologically, physically. Masabih al-Dhulam. Without Ahl Bayt, we can't go anywhere. Total darkness. Then he says, وَيَنَابِعُ الْحِكَمِ. Yanabi' is the Jam'a Yanbu'. Yanbu' is the well where you have the water, the fresh water coming out. And the hikam is the wisdom. So they are the well of the wisdom. Ahlul Bayt are the source of knowledge, the source of wisdom. Yani you won't be able to get the ilm and wisdom except from Ahlul Bayt, salamu alayhim. Go anywhere. Go to Abu Hanifa, go to the Shafi'i, go to the Malik. There's no wisdom, there's no ilm. It's all wrong ilm. When you read the fatwa of Abu Hanifa, for example, you'll be amazed what kind of I can say, disgusting fatwa. If you read them, na'udhu billah, I think you will leave Islam. Better for you. Because the fatwa is yani, na'udhu billah, something unbearable. What made, for example, Salman Rushdie, I remember 1989, to write his book. Also he's an enemy of Ahl Bayt and Islam. But why did he write the book? He relied on Sahih Bukhari and other books. Those who now become against Islam, they say in your books, or you Muslims. Sahih Bukhari, Muslim says such and such. And the hadith are fabricated. They don't belong to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it actually gives us new people, writers, to write against Islam. So you have to go back and come back to Rabi' al-Hakam. No way. No way to any other doctrines or beliefs. Only Ahlul Bayt salam. ومستقر الملائكة. Ahlul Bayt are the house of Fatima salamullah alayha and his children is the place where the Malaika reside there. They descend and ascend. Mustaqar means being stable, being resided in one place. The Malaika actually reside and live in the house of Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhi. They won't go anywhere else. The hadith of the Dar, hadith al-Bab, well-known hadith related by all the Muslims, all the books, that the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he ordered all the doors to be closed, the doors to the Masjid al-Nabi to be closed, except door Ali and Fatima sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Many of the Sahaba begged Rasulullah, let me have my door, please. He said, no way. Umar said, can you allow us just a small hole, just to see the masjid? He said, no way, not even a small hole, nothing. Only for Ahlul Bayt salamullah. They all saw all this great emphasis and the madh and from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But all the way, the minute he passed away, they turned against Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim. انقلبتم على أعقابكم. إلى أن قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. The final words, and I finish the lecture inshallah. فمن هتكه فقد هتك حجاب الله. Allahu Akbar. The door of Fatima is the sanctity, is the hijab Allah, is the holiness of Allah, is the door of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you break the door, it's as if you broke the door of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's as you broke and destroyed the Kaaba. Even worse than destroying the Kaaba. Because in that house are Ahlul Bayt, Ali and Fatima salamullah alayha. So if somebody breaks the door, khalas. He had removed, infringed, destroyed the hijab Allah, the sanctity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are the true hijab Allah. فمن هتكه فقد هتك حجاب الله. One of the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he was sent to his qawm. SubhanAllah, his name is in the Quran mentioned. واذكر في كتاب إسماعيل إنه كان صادق الوعد وكان رسولا نبيا. Allah mentions his name, and maybe why Allah mentions this name and He doesn't mention thousands of the prophets' names, because we had 124,000 prophets. Few mentioned in Quran and in some ahadith, but this Ismail was mentioned. Maybe the reason could be, we will read the end of the hadith, that why did his name was mentioned. As I've said, maybe, I'm not sure about it, but possibly. Imam al-Sadiq salamullah alayhi says, with regard to the ta'wil, tafsir this hadith, he says, of this verse, he says, it was Ismail ibn Hisqil, not Ismail ibn Ibrahim. So this Ismail, Sadiq al-Wa'ad, is different than Ismail ibn Ibrahim. He said, this Ismail, of course he had a Sadiq al-Wa'ad, means he promised and he keeps his promise. So he was waiting for somebody for 3 days in a place. The person told him, I'll meet you there. He came, he stayed 3 days there. In some other narrations, 1 year waited him in that place. Such a Sadiq al-Wa'ad was, such a promising person was. So the Imam Salamullah alayhi says that Ismail was caught by his qawm, by the Zalimeen, because usually prophets were killed and sent away to distant lands. So he was caught by a Zalim, because he calls for Allah and they were mushrikeen. فقال الإمام عليه السلام, they started to torture him, تعذيب, of this great Nabi. هكذا تقول الرواية. فسلخوا جلدة وجهه وفروة رأسه. They started to, I'll give you an example. If you've seen the butchers and the meat in a butchery shop, how they remove the fat from the meat. They start to remove the skin of his face and the skin of his head as the butcher removes the fat from the meat with a knife, with a blade. فسلخوا فروة رأسه وجلدة وجهه. The blood began to pour. He started to bleed. He bleeded. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent one of the malaika. He said to him that I've been sent by Allah. Just let me know anything you want. You can destroy this qawm, all of them. Just let me know. Just give me the ijazah, O Prophet of Allah, and I'll destroy them. The answer of this prophet was, this is one of the prophets who was Al-Hussein alayhi salam, one of the prophets who commemorated, although it was thousands of years ago, but he commemorated Imam Hussein's martyrdom. He said to him, يعني, let me have the blood pouring on my face. He said, لي أسوة بما يفعل بالحسين عليه السلام.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
And Ya Allah mourned Al-Hussein with blood. And today I'm not ready for some people who stand against those who bleed themselves on the day of Ashura, just the small ones, and nothing happens. They won't die, they won't get HIV. This is from Al-Hussein salamullah alayhi. These are all a part of Sha'ar al-Hussein. Why should we stand against? You don't want to do it? Stay away. No problem. You don't want to cry? Okay. No problem. Just attend the lecture and leave. But don't stand against the Sha'ar al-Hussein. Maraj ulama we have, alhamdulillah. We go to the experts. Why should I say, no, I don't like this, I don't want it. This is bid'ah, this is innovation. Who are you? I once said to one of the brothers that, are you ready to go to the hospital? And you go to the special room for surgery, and you tell them, don't use this needle, use this one. They'll kick you out. It's not your job. It's not your expert. Likewise, it is the ulama's expert. To say this is haram, this is halal, this is wajib, and so forth. It's not our expertise. So we leave it to the ulama.